Peace, y'all. Jonny Fastlane here. So, OG Maco is suffering from a crazy skin disease, and Kid Cudi copped some new drip. Plus, what's going on with Ralo? Let's talk hip hop.
I know it took a lot to share any of that because I've been going through this for about 3 months, and everybody I really don't fear, who I really thought I could depend on just wasn't there, people who I even all of my love to and all of my everything to just didn't show up, and it caused me to not really trust anybody or believe in anything, and I went through really the worst of it. I've been scared a lot. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know if I was going to lose my entire face. I almost did, necrosis, any kind of flesh-eating bacteria, if you ever have one, if you ever get one, just keep the faith, follow the regimen that your doctors or dermatologists, whatever they give you, make sure you follow it, and above all, don't let your mental, don't let it get into.
Yo, this is a shame because OG Maco, y'all could see his face is all messed up, or it's all in his hair too. It's just real bad. So apparently the last few months, he's been suffering from a skin disease. At first when he went to the doctors, they just thought it was a rash, right? I guess the very beginning of it. And it was mistreated. So, the doctor's giving him, this ointment and that ointment is just not, working. And actually his skin is getting even worse, right? So he's trying to figure out, why is his skin getting so bad? And, he went back to the doctor or to a different doctor, and they told him he has some kind of flesh-eating disease, right? And that's that same kind of flesh-eating disease that creates a zombie. A zombie is not a person who rises from the grave or nothing like that, but it's more you look like a zombie because your skin is falling off, you got exposed meat, you just bleeding out of nowhere. It could happen on any part of your body, but for OG Maco, this is happening to his face, yo. And OG Maco has been having a really hard time. Crazy looking, right? And the funny thing is, you could see that he's saying that, it was a lot worse a few months ago or a little while ago. So this is it looking good enough to where he feels comfortable about posting it on social media and letting his fans and the public know about what's going on. So imagine how it must have looked, back in December or back in November or whatever like that. It was probably looking crazy, OG Maco, for people that don't know, he came out with that song, You Guessed It, You Was Right. He's from Atlanta. He has a lot to do with that new sound that right before the Migos came. OG Maco was a pretty dope rapper. He was XXL freshman back in 2014 or something like that, or maybe even 2013 or something like that. And after that, in 2015, he went and got into a car accident. And then he, I guess he smashed his face on a windshield or something like that. Something is always happening to this dude, right? And one of his eyeballs literally popped out and fell onto the inside of his face. So it's on the inside of his cheek or whatever like that. And he couldn't see out of his eye for several months until he had to get surgery. And the doctor said that he could try to save it, but he might not be able to. But he ended up saving his eye, and everything was all good after that. You know what I'm saying? He gave a little interview on Vlad TV talking about the whole situation. And then now this skin disease. For some people, it's just always something. It's the devil is on their back. Some people, they always trying to make up something. They always want to act like the victim, and this is going on in my life, and that's going on. But for some people, things really be happening, And for OG Maco, it looks like for him, he ain't trying to play the victim or nothing like that. He looks like he's in good spirits, or as good as can be. But it looked like some things are really going down in his life, which is just crazy to say the least, you know. But let me know what y'all think about all this in the comments down below.
You the new motherfucking Liberace in this motherfucker. Turn around quick, hold on, man. Hold on.
Yo, so Kid Cudi is not even like the type of rapper to be like buying chains and watches and rings, pinkering, you know, and all that. But like, this is dope, right? So every once in a while, you just gotta cop you a little piece, you know what I'm saying? So Kid Cudi bought himself a little birthday present, you know what I'm saying? Like, he just turned 35, and he bought himself a chain, you feel me? Like, he went to Ben Baller and had Ben Baller do like the old school, like, you know, back in the day, you know, Pharrell had one of these little figure. Everybody had like a little figure. I had a little figure that looked like that. Think big records, baby. Think big records, bitch. Remember that back in the day? Like, this whole thing is like inspired by like the skateboard culture. So like Pharrell was working with Bape back in the day. Kid Cudi was working with them too. I think Kanye might have worked with them too a little bit. But anyway, so a lot of people had like these little cartoon characters, right? So, you know, your boy Kid Cudi decided to get one made for himself in a chain for his birthday, you know, which is dope. Got red rubies on it. Got the tan diamonds, the white diamonds, the black diamonds, different colored diamonds. Got the old school like rope chain that goes around the neck. It's all in rose gold, actually. $275,000 is what it cost him. You know what I'm saying? And I really think that, you know, he deserves it. On the back of it, it says, it looks like a heavy piece, right? On the back, it's engraved. It says General Cud. Then it has like a silhouette of Kid Cudi with like moons and stuff going around him. You know, so it's fire, yo. It's super detailed. I know that he's gonna be loving this piece. Just walk around, you know what I'm saying? Go holler at Jay-Z with the piece on, you know what I'm saying? What up, home? Type shit, you know what I'm saying? But it's pretty cool, yo. So then he shouts out Ben Baller on Instagram, no, on Twitter, and he's like, no, on Instagram, and he's like, I love this MFN chain, homie. Ben Baller, for making this epic custom piece for me. You know, and then he tags Ben Baller with the praying hands and everything like that. Like, the way that it just looks is dope, you know. And Ben Baller's like an OG in this, you know, jewelry game. So, like, hell yeah, for Kid Cudi to go drop some money on himself for his own birthday, he went to Ben Baller. I think it's dope, man. And Ben Baller made a dope-ass piece. You know I keep the dog food like a Rallo fam. Yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to Ralo, yo. This is crazy, right? Because recently, like within the last couple days, so for those that don't know Ralo, right? Nah, he was never XXL freshman. You know what I'm saying? He was always independent. Yeah, I think maybe he was signed to a major record deal. But he used to do a lot of stuff with Gucci Mane and everything like that. He had a little beef with Moneybagg Yo, but it wasn't really nothing like too serious or nothing like that. Ralo was from Atlanta, right? He used to fly back and forth, you know, overseas, Mexico, California, whatever, in a private jet, you know, doing his own shows, collecting a bag, bringing a bag back to Atlanta. He was a rapper that was on Vlad TV just talking about how he owns a whole apartment complex. So basically like a whole building, right? And that block that the building is on. And, you know, he pays for everybody's rent. I mean, you know, some people pay him, but obviously if the old ladies can't afford food, he's going to help out in the neighborhood. If the kids need, you know, school supplies or whatever, he helps out in the neighborhood. During the holidays, you know, he helps out in the neighborhood, buys turkeys and things like that. Like some real, like kingpin stuff, right? So Ralo was dope. You know, he used his rap money to kind of give back to his community and just be like the mayor of his hood, you know what I'm saying, which is dope. I mean, like when you from the streets, the first thing that you do with your bag is you come and you give it back with good intentions. Maybe not always the right thing that you do. Maybe allegedly you get involved in, this or that, or moving things through your area because you the only one that knows what's going, whatever the case may be. But for the most part, generally speaking, you definitely doing something that's positive for the people in your community that you saw struggle like your whole life, right? So that's the kind of time Rallo was on, right? But he was overseas somewhere, Mexico, and they caught, he wasn't in Mexico, he was in Atlanta, but they found like a plane, like a private jet in Mexico that had like $1 million, literally, like I think it was like $900 worth. So this is over $1 million. It was like not $900, 900 pounds of marijuana on the plane, on the private jet, right? And then like the very next day, Rallo puts a tweet on Twitter, is like, I lost $1 million today, but it's all good, I'll be back, and it was just weird that the same day or 24 hours later after that airplane got nabbed by the US authorities, he tweets that out, kind of cryptic. Maybe one has nothing to do with the other, but whatever. So that they was watching him from then, right? Because they thought it was kind of funny and kind of suspicious, right? So, last year, Rallo goes to, 2017 now, Rallo goes to California to do a show, right? And, allegedly, this is all allegedly because it's still an open case, right? He goes to California to do a show, and he's on the private jet at this point. And, they jump on there and they find 440 pounds worth of marijuana on that jet too. So they're like, I guess they did some investigation. They're like, Rallo, you don't even have a show out here. What are you doing out here? You acting like you're doing shows and you getting money from shows, but really using a private jet to go pick up your, marijuana and then bring it back to Atlanta so that he could flood the neighborhood over there or whatever, allegedly. So they arrested him, denied him bail and everything, right? So this is the same thing this is the feds. This is the same thing that happened with ARAB, drug-related type stuff. This is the same thing that happened to 03 Greedo. He got caught up in Texas, I think like in El Paso or something like that. So just a couple days ago, they were offered Rallo 5 years, right? So 5 years, which is not that bad because he's already been locked up for like a year and a half, right? So if you're locked up for a year and a half and they trying to give you 5 years, guess what? You only got maybe 3.5 more solid years to do. And then to be honest with you, he probably wouldn't end up doing that full 3.5 years. They might let him out early or something, right? So that could have been like a really good deal, right? But he turned it down, right? So because what happens is a lot of times they'll say, you know what? Because here's the thing. These prosecutors and the judge and everybody, they don't want to look stupid, right? So they want to be able to win a trial. So it's like them versus the person that got arrested. So them versus Rallo, right? And so they don't want to lose against Rallo, right? So they're like, this is how they can try to win, right? And this is what they always do to everybody. This is what they did to 6ix9ine. This is what they did to Bobby Shmurda. This is what they do to everybody. They go to you and they say, yo, listen, it's not looking good for you. You're probably looking at 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. So I suggest you take 5 years and, we call everything even. And if you say, okay, cool, I'll take the 5 years, right? Then they won because they got a conviction. So that's what it is. They get a conviction, and then the state gives these departments, these, law enforcement departments, more money to do what they need to do because the state sees that they're doing it the right way and they're getting a certain amount of convictions. Believe it or not, they have a quota to hit and they have to convict a certain amount of people every year. So if it seems like they're arresting people for no reason, or it seems like they're locking people up or convicting people for no reason, or not really trying to look at all the evidence, or giving you a public offender and pushing you through the system, that is by design. That's for a reason because they need to hit their quota, right? So they was trying to do the same thing with Rallo. And I'm going to be honest with you though, that deal that they was trying to give Rallo was actually a pretty good deal, but Rallo was like, nah, I turned it down. So instead of doing that, now they're going to take it to trial, right? Which means that Ralo is going to go into the court system and battle that. Still no bail, because if he had bail, he could just go home, chill, and then show up into court. But he's going to be locked up, for the time being. But he's ready to battle it out between them and himself, right? So he tweets out something, and I don't know if it's him or his team, but they tweet out something, and they're like, just left the courtroom, had some really, really good news, better than expected in court, and it looks like Ralo is going to be coming home, which is crazy because he is facing like 20 some odd years at first. They try to bust it down to 5. He denies it, and then they're saying that he might be coming home. So just crazy, yo. So then T.I., puts up a post on social media basically saying like it's insane, showing that he's standing by Ralo, saying that it's crazy how, in Colorado and California and, Washington, certain people can walk around and sell mad marijuana, and make millions or billions off of it, because it's $1 billion industry as it's slowly being, legalized in different states of the U.S. But for Ralo, who's somebody who was trying to invest in marijuana early, ends up facing all these years and sitting in prison. Like, I understand you, T.I., and it's the same drug, and these men, whether it's a random guy from Colorado or it's Ralo, have the same intent, which is to bring the marijuana flower to, their community to help people out, cancer patients, hunger, there's so many different great benefits for THC and all that stuff like that. And I get that. I get all of that. But the thing is that T.I., certain places, marijuana is legal. Certain places it's completely not legal. Certain places it's decriminalized. Like in New York, if you get caught with like a blunt on you or something like that, the police will just let you go and probably throw the blunt on the ground because it's decriminalized, so you're not a criminal. But if you get pulled over in Alabama and you have a blunt on you, you're getting put in handcuffs and thrown in jail, right? But if you get pulled over in Colorado with a blunt on you, the cops won't even take it and throw it. They'll be like, oh, you got a blunt? Oh, cool. The cop might hit the blunt and tell you to go on your way. So, I mean, it just depends. And yeah, it's one country, but in different places of the country, different things happen. There are different rules. And Ralo happened to be in a part of the country where, no, man, those rules don't apply to you. And he was in California when he got caught, allegedly, but he didn't have the proper paperwork or nothing like that. But you know why he didn't have the proper paperwork, though? Because Ralo was not committing any kind of crime, all right? So that's why he didn't have the paperwork. Ralo didn't even know anything about no 400 pounds of what in my private jet. What? Like, I don't know what y'all talking about right now. So that's why he said he is not guilty. He is not going to admit to it. He is not going to take a plea deal. And he's taking it to trial so that his name can be completely exonerated, right? So hopefully everything goes good with that. And hopefully Ralo can come home, because the dude wasn't out here robbing banks or, beating up people or kidnapping women. You know what I'm saying? He was just trying to spread love. And by spreading love, I mean spreading his music around the globe. And he didn't have nothing to do with whatever was in his private jet. So, yeah. Come home, Ralo, and we want you to come home. So let me know what y'all think about all this in the comments down below. Ralo, OG Maco. Let me know what y'all think. Make sure y'all like, comment, share, and subscribe. Follow me at Jonny Fastlane, Jonny Fastlane, on all social media platforms. And y'all already know what to do. Peace.